Business person Albert Tay is seeking to cite Hajiji for contempt after being denied entry into Sabah. The government has decided to maintain existing guidelines on alcohol in school halls for events and gatherings that do not involve students. Stay tuned for all this and more on Kini News. Business person Albert Tay has filed an application to cite interim Sabah Chief Minister Hajiji for contempt of court. This was after he was denied entry into the state to appear for his criminal case proceedings twice. Court documents cited by Malaysia Kini show that the application was filed at Kota Kinabalu Sessions Court today. It will be heard on November 24th. Tay claimed that the immigration officers told him that the order had come directly from Hajiji's office or via the respondent's officers. He said he was told this when he was stopped upon arrival at Kota Kinabalu International Airport on two separate occasions on September 22nd and October 23rd. Tay said that such interference, whether directly or indirectly, strikes at the very foundation of judicial independence and the rule of law. He further said that unless Hajiji is held accountable, such conduct, if left unchecked, will set a dangerous precedent that may enable executive interference with judicial proceedings and constitutional rights violations under the pretext of administrative discretion. Yesterday, the Immigration Department told Malaysia Kini that Tay was turned away because he allegedly told officers that he came to Sabah for sightseeing and to meet friends. The department also said that Tay did not provide any documents on being summoned to court. The cabinet today decided to maintain existing rules and regulations regarding the serving of alcoholic beverages at Chinese school halls. This means alcoholic beverages could continue to be served when the halls are rented out to the public for events that do not involve students. Government spokesperson Fahmi Fadzil announced the decision during a post-cabinet meeting press conference in Putrajaya this afternoon.
Garis panduan sedia ada terpakai. Jadi segala amalan dan peraturan adalah terpakai. Jadi Jemaah Menteri dimaklumkan bahawa bagi setengah sekolah jenis kebangsaan Cina, ada yang mendapat bantuan penuh, ada yang beberapa fasiliti dibangunkan dan dijaga oleh LPS, Lembaga Pengelola Sekolah, ataupun telah dibangunkan oleh pihak swasta. Jadi ada beberapa perkara yang terpakai khusus untuk sekolah-sekolah Cina. Tapi boleh rujuk dengan kenyataan daripada KPM sejurus selepas sidang media ini. Ada setengah sekolah, terutama SJKC, yang dewan di situ sama ada diuruskan oleh pihak LPS ataupun dibangunkan oleh pihak swasta, dewan swasta. Jadi perkara ini memang dalam pengetahuan dan memang dalam pertimbangan Jemaah Menteri, itulah sebab peraturan sedia ada terpakai. Tidak ada perubahan kepada garis panduan dan peraturan serta amalan sedia ada.
Still on the topic, earlier DAP advisor Lim Guan Eng said Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim stirred up a hornet's nest with his statement in Parliament yesterday that alcohol should not be served on school grounds, inside the public halls, including those funded by the Chinese community. In a statement, Lim said Anwar's remarks generated deep unhappiness in the Chinese community as the move was seen as unnecessary intrusion into long-standing customs. He pointed out that the Chinese community halls within vernacular schools have, for decades, hosted weddings, temple dinners, and entertainment events where alcohol was traditionally served, all held outside school hours and without student involvement. He said the unhappiness of the Chinese community is rooted in why Anwar allowed himself to dance to the tune of the extremists and racists by interfering, disrupting and disturbing a customary arrangement that has not caused controversy or impacted in any negative manner on the Muslim community. He added that even when PAS was in government, PAS never interfered in Chinese primary schools, and such activities continued undisturbed at Chinese school halls. Lim argued that even though Anwar stressed that this alcohol ban was not to impose Islamic values and views by restricting the rights of non-Muslims, but to uphold schools as places of education for children, the Chinese community does not agree. He said this is as Chinese primary schools are widely renowned as educational institutions of excellence, and their students are not exposed to alcohol and have turned out to possess good moral character and ethical values. From now on, you can also listen to Kini News on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. The PAS Ulama wing has hit back at DAP's Lim Lip Eng, accusing him of insulting both the party and Islam over his response to his proposal to ban alcohol on Malaysia Airlines. Its information chief Muhammad Nur Hamzah said Lim's statement is not only an insult to PAS, but also an insult to Islam as the religion of the Federation. He stated that Malaysia Airlines is owned by Khazanah Nasional and represents the official image of the country. Therefore, he said serving alcohol under a government-owned brand contradicts Islamic principles and shows a lack of respect for the sensitivities of the Muslim majority. He added that the prohibition of alcohol is not a form of coercion against non-Muslims, but rather a universal moral principle recognized by all major religions of the world. With this, the PAS Ulama wing urged the Transport Ministry and Khazanah Nasional to stop serving alcohol in all Malaysia Airlines flights immediately. They also called on the government to allow Muslim cabin crew to cover their aurat properly, as they have the right to practice religion as enshrined in the federal constitution. Previously, during his speech in the Dewan Rakyat on Wednesday, Lim slammed the proposal by PAS, saying the option to consume alcoholic beverages is an individual right afforded to non-Muslims. Lim also told PAS to start its own airlines if they want to ban alcohol. Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail has responded to claims that the Malaysia Maritime Enforcement Agency, or MMEA, raided the Rusila Mosque in Marang, Terengganu last month. Saifuddin said the incident involved only 6 MMEA personnel who stopped to perform Asar prayers during a training exercise, and it should not have been misinterpreted. He added that they should not exaggerate a program designed to develop an elite team without considering the actual facts. In a press conference yesterday, Saifuddin stated that they had considered the matter resolved last month, yet it has been sensationalized, giving the impression of a commando-style raid in the prayer hall wearing shoes. He explained that the training was conducted from Kuala Terengganu to Kuantan, Pahang, with several public locations used as checkpoints, and the Rusila Mosque was merely a stop for prayers. He said the case was classified as no further action after police confirmed no unusual incidents had occurred and the mosque management had been fully briefed. Kota Baru MP Taqiyuddin Hassan had previously raised concern in the Dewan Rakyat over the alleged MMEA training exercise at the mosque. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Former Premier Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has expressed frustration over the questions posed to him in his case, saying it had nothing to do with his claims in the 150 million ringgit defamation suit against Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. He told the Shah Alam High Court yesterday that at the rate the defendant's legal team was going with their line of questioning, he would be dead before the case reached its conclusion. Mahathir said this while he was being cross-examined by Anwar's lawyer Ranjit Singh on his testimony, particularly where the former Langkawi MP claimed Anwar's alleged remarks had affected his status as a statesperson. The line of questioning included the defeat of Mahathir's former political party Pejuang in the Johor by-election and the 15th general election in 2022, where its candidates, including Mahathir, lost their deposits. In response, Mahathir pointed out that the line of questioning has nothing to do with his complaint that Anwar defamed him and could take up to 15 years to finish. He said he doesn't have time as he is 100 years old and cannot answer all these questions, which could take 10 or 15 years at the rate it's going. He stated that he is not a lawyer but believes there is a saying, "Justice delayed is justice denied." Mahathir added that he will probably be dead before the case is finished, so he will not get justice while he is living. In response, Ranjit responded that any objection should come from Mahathir's legal team and assured that it would not take 15 years. Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail said that the investigation into fugitive businessperson Low Taek Joe, or Joe Low, is still active. Speaking at a media conference in Kuala Lumpur, Khalid said police are continuing to monitor every new lead and will act based on what the investigation requires. According to Bernama, he said this in response to a question on the status of the investigation into Low. He said the investigation remains active, but there's no need to discuss it publicly for now. Low is wanted by the authorities to assist in investigations into the embezzlement of 1MDB funds. Recently, claims surfaced that he's been living in an elite area of Shanghai, China using a fake Australian passport. However, Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail previously said that checks and information received so far haven't turned up evidence or credible supporting facts regarding Low's current location or the alleged use of the passport. Back to the alcohol issue, Anwar had told Parliament yesterday that he preferred the alcohol not be served on school grounds. He stressed that the stance was not meant to restrict the rights of non-Muslims, but to preserve schools as places of learning for children. Following his remarks, we conducted a poll to gauge public opinion on the issue. Here are the results. 87% agreed, saying that schools should remain alcohol-free to uphold educational values. 6% felt that a ban would negatively impact alumni events and gatherings. Another 6% called for clearer and more balanced guidelines. What do you think about this issue? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.